I went on my wife's phone to jokingly prank her sister, but I found explicit messages and content confirming my wife was having an affair with another man. My wife, Jenny, and I have been married for 8 years. We met when we were 22 and we had both just graduated from university. It's been great, so far. We haven't had a huge argument where we've had to separate for a period of time or anything like that. Also, we have given each other our passwords to our phones and personal emails. Well, Jenny was sleeping this morning and my brother shot her a text. My brother's wife, Carly, and Jenny are planning on going out of town for a getaway. While my brother, I and some friends are going to watch football on Sunday and hang out during the weekend. He was asking Jenny to text Carly on his phone because Carly dropped her phone in the toilet. My brother and Carly were basically sharing phones for the time being, till she gets a new phone. I decided to open up the phone and reply something stupid and funny in order to embarrass Jenny. So I opened up the iMessage app and went to read their previous conversation to see what was happening so I could tell a relevant joke. Second, to the top of the list of conversations was a chat with a guy/girl named Zach. I didn't know who Zach was, but the most recent thing he sent her was heart emoji GN. I was curious, so I put off replying to my brother and opened up Jenny and Zach's chat. To my horror, there was sexually explicit talk of what he wanted to do to Jenny when she crawled up next to his sack. What a filthy beast. I scroll up and there are multiple nudes from both of them waiting for me to discover. Most of them are dated sometime between 1 to 4 a.m. Usually I'm sleeping then smart, so I knew she was obviously trying to hide it from me. I realized my wife is cheating on me. I took a moment to realize that this was the end of our marriage. All of our happy times, our foreign trips and our romantic nights must have meant nothing to her. I put the phone down and went to the bathroom to freshen up while Jenny was still sleeping. I carry on with my day, make breakfast and wake her up while she was sleeping. Her phone went off 7 times. Yes, I counted. And there were good morning texts from Zach and a confirmation to see if she was still visiting him this weekend. She went to the bathroom and I heard her phone vibrate loudly, since it was placed on the bathroom countertop. I heard the sounds of typing and the send button. This happened 3 times while she was in there. As she was coming out, I quickly went downstairs to pretend like I was doing nothing out of the ordinary. We eat. She goes to take a shower and I try to open up her phone. Jenny changed her phone password. I must have been acting a little weird or distant, or she thought it was time to secure her phone. Since we've been so comfortable around each other for the past few years, I tried to open up her Facebook and email, but the passwords to those were changed as well. Jenny has gone out with some friends tonight. She thinks she lost her phone. Nope, I stole it before she left so I could try and break into it. I went through a massive hassle to unlock her phone, but I finally did it. She's cheating on me. They talk about Seg's positions. They want to try how far Zach can shove his thing down her throat and one short conversation about meeting up this weekend. My BTCH sister-in-law, Carly, must be in on this. I've erased all trace of me breaking into her phone. I don't know what to do now. Jenny is cheating on me, but we've had no major problems in the time we've been together. We still have sex 4 to 5 times a week. We still go out on dates and cuddles. Sometimes when we're home, I don't get it. She's on birth control since I told her we should wait a little bit before we have kids. Thank God we're both fit and still attractive, I guess. So it isn't about looks. I have a bigger thing than the other guy, if that's what she desires. I don't mean to compare. It's just primal instinct fighting over a mate. Should I tell her I know? Should we split and file for divorce right away? Should I tell my brother Carly is in on this get revenge? I've got a prenup in place with a cheating clause since I make much more than her $212K to $30K, thankfully, so I won't be getting shafted. I'm thinking about finding out more about the situation, tailgating when she travels and then coming to a conclusion. Since Carly might not even know about this, I'm not even sure if they're actually leaving town or if she just wants to spend time with him. Sorry if I'm rambling and I don't make much sense. I'm just really pissed. God damn it. I loved her. I have screenshotted the texts and emailed them to myself. I feel like someone has shot me in the stomach. Edit. By popular request, I will post an update with the bigger changes and results of the PI investigation on our /relationships sometime after the weekend, late Sunday or Monday/Tuesday. I will link it in an edit here. So save the post or check my profile on Monday and Tuesday Edit 2. Thank you all so much for the supportive comments. It means a lot to me. It's a struggle keeping a straight face around her, but I'm fighting through it for this last week. Live updates. 5:15 p.m., January 16, 2015. Private investigator hired detailer. Saturday, Sunday and Monday. 6 p.m., January 16, 2015. Took a while, but passwords to everything changed. Backed up personal info and created a throwaway email to send proof to. 6:47 p.m., January 16, 2015. She's home. It really sucks speaking to her normally, but I'm dealing with it. No segs. Also, I found 3 excellent divorce lawyers for myself. Luckily, I make much more than her, so I can afford an excellent lawyer while she can only afford a mediocre one at best. 8:13 p.m., January 16, 2015. Hired a divorce lawyer. Pricey, but he's known to do excellent work. I'm in good hands. It's tempting to have sex. My soon-to-be ex-wife is trying extra hard to seduce me tonight for some reason. She's either super horny or is trying to get me to have sex with her as a form of infidelity forgiveness. 8:54 p.m., January 16, 2015. God damn it. She's on her phone texting again. In the bathroom, I can hear the send button being pressed over and over. It's probably nudes and sexy talk. Jesus, this hurts. 9:55 p.m., January 16, 2015. She went to bed. I'm sitting here watching TV on my laptop. She's trying to initiate sex. I of course have to decline. I want to have sex with her, but I'll control myself. Despite what she did being unforgivable, she's still beautiful on the outside. 10:17 p.m., January 16, 2015. Heading to bed. I'll update some more tomorrow after getting up. I cannot stress how thankful I am for all this positive support. It means a lot to me, but no matter what, it'll take many months or even a year or two to get over this crappy situation. I hate to say it, but she's pretty on the outside. She's just effed up on the inside. 11:04 p.m., January 16, 2015. I got caught up watching TV. Now I'm actually going to bed. Good night. 9:14 a.m., January 17, 2015. I woke up a little late today if I wanted to break into her phone. Since it would take a while, so I won't do it today. She's still asleep. The pie will be following her vehicle starting at 10 a.m. today. Jenny and Carly are heading on their weekend trip. Today at 12 p.m. she'll have some breakfast. Carly will swing by here and they'll take Jenny's car and head off. The pie will be tailing them all day. I'm excited to see what he finds. He offered to take me around with him, but I politely declined. I've got some crap to do today anyways. Really a great start to the day. 10 hours of sleep. I don't get that often. Thanks for the gold, but this is a throwaway account. Haha. 9:55 a.m., January 17, 2015. As I go through the replies, a few people have told me why I included the sexual details. As if I'm bragging. I included them because that is one of the most common reasons. People cheat. They aren't getting satisfied. Partner is too small, different segs, drive levels, etc. Hint, hint, r/dead bedrooms. 10:08 a.m., January 17, 2015. Pi is posted down the street waiting for her vehicle to pull out with Carly. She woke up about 10 minutes ago and I'm about to cook her breakfast. Carly is showing up a little earlier today at around 10:30 a.m. So I'm cooking her breakfast too. Can't believe I'm wasting my crap on these people. But you do what you got to do to keep everything under wraps. I have another meeting with the divorce lawyer today at 1 p.m. 10:29 a.m., January 17, 2015. People calling this fake divorce attorneys are open on Friday evenings. You can find one through online databases. Also, pies have flexible hours because of the type of work they do. So I hired one quickly since it was urgent. If you still think it's fake, F off. I don't need your crap when I'm going through this tough time. 10:40 a.m., January 17, 2015. Carly has arrived. They're both eating breakfast while I'm watching TV and on my computer. Once they pull out, the pie will begin tailgating. 11:50 a.m., January 17, 2015. They left a bit later than they should have. 11 a.m. They got caught up, chit-chatting and occasionally talking to me. private investigator is tailing them now. He's got a camera that zooms in and takes high-quality pics from ridiculously far away, an assortment of high-quality dash cams and handheld recorders. 12:02 p.m., January 17, 2015. The Pi will be sending me live updates and I can view one of his cameras on my computer, sort of like a live stream. I'll post a few details here, but the main parts will be posted after the investigation in an update on our /relationships on Monday/Tuesday. I'll link the post here so you all can check it out when it's up. 12:03 p.m., January 17, 2015. She is not heading to the place she told me she was going. Jenny is driving. This doesn't look good. 12:14 p.m., January 17, 2015. Carly got dropped off at Starbucks. Jenny took the car and left the shopping center. Don't know where she's headed. I is 10 with these updates and live cam. 12:19 p.m., January 17, 2015. Pi is tailing Jenny. She's making sporadic turns left and right, ultimately leading to nowhere. She doesn't know he's following because he's very far away. I think she's playing it safe. 12:24 p.m., January 17, 2015. Divorce attorney and I rescheduled for Monday morning at 7 a.m. I'll hit the divorce attorney then go to work. 12:26 p.m., January 17, 2015. Jenny has circled back to the shopping center. She's parked an abnormal distance from the Starbucks and is texting someone. It's probably Carly, since they're both on their phones. Carly is texting is seen through the Starbucks window. Jenny is texting in her car at the shopping center. 12:30 p.m., January 17, 2015. A man walked into Starbucks and is sitting next to Carly. Jenny has parked closer to the Starbucks, seemingly waiting for Carly to come out. The man could either be a stranger trying to hit on Carly, a random person sitting next to her, since the seats are close to full Zach, or her own affair partner. 12:38 p.m., January 17, 2015. The man left the Starbucks and headed on his way. Carly and Jenny have regrouped in the car. They've been talking for the past few minutes. No movement. Carly seems to be on edge. She keeps looking out the window. They know something we don't. This is intense. 12:48 p.m., January 17, 2015. Still in the car. 12:56 p.m., January 17, 2015. Still in the car. The Pi is hundreds of yards away. Zoomed in on his equipment. He is not even in the same shopping center as them. He has slightly tinted windows, so it would be hard for them to see him. 10:02 p.m., January 17, 2015. They've pulled out of the shopping center. Pi is tailing. Don't know where they're headed. 1:15 p.m., January 17, 2015. Still driving. There's a bit of traffic, so they haven't gone too far. 1:23 p.m., January 17, 2015. Carly has been dropped off at a hotel. The hotel is a decent one. Not a rusty motel, but not crazy Vegas quality either. Just the common ones you see around like Hilton, Hampton Inn, etc. Jenny is in the parking lot. 1:26 p.m., January 17, 2015. Jenny has left the car and followed Carly into the hotel. They're either going for food or meeting up with their partners. 1:27 p.m., January 17, 2015. Pi thinks judging by the way they're moving, they won't be in there for long. This hotel has an IHOP, Subway, Pizza Hut, and a few other restaurants. They're most likely in for food. 1:30 p.m., January 17, 2015. The Pi is heading into the hotel. To see what's up, I have to take a number 2. So sorry, I'll update when I get back 10 to 15 minutes. 1:49 p.m., January 17, 2015. Sorry, I'm back. I'm analyzing updates. I got in the past 15 minutes of footage. I missed composing the update now. 2 p.m., January 17, 2015. Jenny and Carly were eating at a restaurant in the hotel. They're chatting, acting normally like nothing is up. The Pi is sitting very far away and out of sight. They don't know he's tailing, as they aren't acting nervous at all. A man walked by their table, said a few things and walked away. He was probably a service worker as he had a tucked-in shirt and all that jazz. Judging by the Pie's footage, they're almost done with their food and cleaning up. I suspect they'll be heading out to the car. Jenny is constantly checking the clock in the hotel lobby. Her phone appears to be dead, or she doesn't want to use it to check time. They decide to take the rest of their food to go and pack up their items. They exit the hotel. The Pie follows at a distance. They break into an all-out sprint for the car. I don't know why Carly is questioning Jenny as to why they're running towards the car. They hop in and they're talking again. They both seem relaxed. No tension. We don't know why Jenny started sprinting towards the car. 2:08 p.m., January 17, 2015. They've hit the road. I is once again tailing their car. They're heading towards a residential area. Not many businesses or large buildings. 2:12 p.m., January 17, 2015. Holy crap, these U-turns. It's like they're trying to shake someone off their tail. They're on their way back to the hotel. It seems there is no way in hell. They know about the Pie. He's extremely far away. This isn't like the movies where the Pie is a few cars down. The Pie is at least 100 feet away puzzling. 2:15 p.m., January 17, 2015. Carly got dropped off at the hotel. Jenny has driven away and is now en route to the residential area again. Carly was seen waving at Jenny as she drove away. Carly had a hotel keycard as she entered the lobby, so she probably has a place to stay. Jenny handed Carly the hotel keycard as Carly left the car. They must have already had a room key or got one before the Pie could tail them in, since he had to wait a small period of time to not look suspicious. 2:22 p.m., January 17, 2015. Jenny met up at the front of a flat house in a residential area and kissed a guy before she entered. Zach cheating confirmed. Carly seems to be clueless about the situation. Pie snapped a shot of it. This is about enough evidence. I might call it off for the day now. 2:24 p.m., January 17, 2015. They're definitely unaware of the Reddit post. Jenny was careless as she entered the house. Didn't try to hurry or anything. What a joke. I don't know why I had my hopes up that nothing was going on. I'm sad now. 2:27 p.m., January 17, 2015. I'm really sorry for the abrupt update above. She dropped Carly off at the hotel, rushed back to the residential area and entered the house. She showed Carly and kissed Zach. She didn't try to cover her tracks. No zigzags, nothing. I expected a build-up of some sorts, not a quick confirmation like this. 2:31 p.m., January 17, 2015. Carly texted my brother about Jenny. So my brother knows. Carly knows. I know. They didn't know. I knew. So my brother just told me text. I need them both to shut up about this, and I need to act surprised when one of them calls me. In the last 15 minutes, everything has come crashing through the roof. If Jenny finds out, I know this whole evidence collecting thing is ruined. I need a way to tell them to shut up without giving away what I'm doing. Advice, guys, please, I'm counting on you all. Okay, to sum it up, Carly thought they were going on a girls' weekend. I don't know what was going on in the Starbucks. Maybe Carly wanted a drink or something. I don't know who talked to Carly. They made some weird turns, most likely out of suspicion I was following. They grabbed a bite at the hotel. Jenny sprinted to the car because she was excited or they were messing around. Jenny showed Carly where she'd be for safety in case Jenny never replied again. Then she dropped off Carly at the hotel room. They're sharing. Jenny then went back to the flat and met up with Zach. They are inside. I doesn't know what to do next. Stake out or go to the hotel or call it off for the day. This is what I think happened. The case is ruined. If Jenny finds out, because I'll ruin my opportunity to get even more evidence, I'll be stuck with the video of her entering and the quick entering kiss. I want more. I have this Pie guy scheduled till Monday. Might as well use it up. 2:41 p.m., January 17, 2015. My head is spinning. This is too much information for 30 minutes. I can't deal. Carly texted my brother. Jenny is cheating. My brother texted me. I cannot have them tell Jenny. I know. Because it'll ruin my opportunity to collect even more evidence to truly cement my case. I'm not sure if a quick kiss and entering a house will suffice. The infidelity clause. She might be able to play it off as a friendly greeting. The Pie is scheduled till Monday, so I've got more time to collect evidence if my bro and Carly keep their mouths shut. 2:54 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Vale, I'm gonna eat lunch. I'll be reading replies while I eat, but I won't be typing. The pie is staking out Jenny and Zach's place. There will still be juicy updates if they leave the house. I'm thinking, so stay tuned. I guess I'm at a loss for words. The pleasure of our love lasted a few years. The pain that came of this will last a lifetime. I'll post some more updates in 10 to 15 minutes. 3:10 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Okay, I cooled off while eating lunch. I'm not as hyped up as I was before. The pie has texted me that there is movement in the house. He's just sitting there staking out. Carly is not to be trusted. She doesn't need to know about the evidence. I told my brother to please not talk about the issue and tell Carly not to speak about it. As I want time to think about my options, I feel much better now. I still don't know why they went to Starbucks or who the guy is that talked to Carly at Starbucks. It definitely isn't Zach. 3:14 p.m., January 17th, 2015. I can't speak to the lawyer about how much proof I need because he closed up at 2 p.m. We have an appointment Monday at 7 a.m. Also, Zach and Jenny are on the front porch, seemingly getting ready to leave the house. 3:18 p.m., January 17th, 2015. My doorbell was rung. It was someone asking if I was ready to upgrade my cable service. This probably isn't related to anything going on. I'm not going to get too paranoid. It happens fairly often around here. Door-to-door advertising guys. Calm down about the cable guy. He had a name tag, official car with a big ladder and everything. 3:27 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Zach and Jenny are relaxing on the front porch, just talking and holding hands. My pie is super far away. They can't see him, but he can see them. 3:38 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Zach and Jenny left Zach's house. I is tailing them. Sigh, more suspense for us. 3:42 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Zach and Jenny are heading towards the Starbucks shopping center. Don't know why. I'm guessing they already ate. 3:48 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Jenny and Zach are sitting in the car parked in the shopping center, just like Carly and Jenny were doing earlier. They're just talking. 3:51 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Remember the guy that met up with Carly in Starbucks? He just got into the car that Zach and Jenny are in. They're all sitting together discussing something. Things are heating up again. I'll post proof later on. I'm trying to follow the situation now. It's escalating quickly, just like earlier. 3:55 p.m., January 17th, 2015. They've pulled out of the shopping center. I is tailing. 4:04 p.m., January 17th, 2015. They have arrived at the hotel. Zach, Jenny, and the stranger are heading into the hotel. Carly is inside the hotel somewhere. The stranger is probably the person Carly is having an affair with. I'm guessing if the stranger was a hitman, I'd think he'd be a bit taller or muscular. He looks like an average guy, although he's fairly short. Not sure how the pie can go about following without looking suspicious. 4:11 p.m., January 17th, 2015. My pie followed them into the lobby. Jenny picked up a room key and all three of them headed for the elevator. We're essentially blind right now. We don't know what's going on in the hotel rooms. I wants to know if he should stake out the hotel or if we should call it a day. It seems like they'll spend the rest of the day in the hotel and they'll also sleep together there. I think Carly was trying to portray Jenny as the only person who was cheating. That's why she texted my brother right away. I think now, if Jenny rats out Carly, Carly will deny it and say, Jenny is just saying that because she was caught cheating once again. My head is spinning. 4:16 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Okay, so, essentially all four of them are inside the hotel doing something, most likely having sex. The thought of my wife having sex with another man makes me want to puke. But I'm coping. There is no way for my pie to get upstairs in the hotel or to find out what's going on in there. He'll stake out the hotel for a few more hours before heading home. 4:28 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Jenny just texted me that Carly is cheating. I actually don't know where to go from here. 4:41 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Still not sure what I should reply to Jenny. What should I say? My life is being destroyed here. I can't stress how thankful I am for all 1,000 plus of you people giving me helpful advice. Thank you for all the touching PMs. Even the people who are calling this fake and BS. Thanks for being here. It means a lot to me during this rough time. Reddit is great. I'll continue to update when I get more info. 4:48 p.m., January 17th, 2015. I'm still thinking about what I should say to her, although I'll most likely ignore it. I don't want to say something I'll regret and mess up this whole thing. 5 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Not much is going on now. They're still in the hotel. My pie is staking out for one more hour till he has to go. The updates will get slower and they might pick up in the evening if Jenny comes home or if I get more texts. They're supposed to be spending the night there, but who knows? The update post I post on Monday/Tuesday will have all of the juicy details. So check my profile then to see how it all goes down once again. I'll link it here on this post. Thanks for the help today, guys. It means a lot to me. Nothing is really going on now. Updates will be going up at a slower rate. They might pick up tonight. Other than that, make sure you read Monday/Tuesday's post. It'll have everything that went down from Thursday to Monday. 5:34 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Thank you all for the wonderful PMs. They're great. Pie number 1 is leaving soon. Pie number 2 will be doing an evening stakeout until 11 p.m. RIP my inbox. Haha, they're still in the hotel. By the way, food is in there too, so I'm guessing they'll be in there the rest of the day. It seems like Jenny convinced Carly to go with her to Zach's house to show her the location just in case something happened to Jenny. Carly would be her guard, so to speak. Then Jenny brought Zach and the other guy to the hotel and Carly got cold feet. Didn't want to cheat on her husband, so Jenny is stabbing her in the back. I'm not sure. I'll find out what happened in the next few days. That's the only reason I can think of as to why they'd turn on each other. 6:36 p.m., January 17th, 2015. I'm posting screenshots of the text for proof in a bit. Number 2 is on the scene and they haven't left the hotel. Things will surely get much more interesting tomorrow. A few things went down. Those will be covered in my update post on Moan/2s. It's pretty crazy. This sucks a lot. Again, thanks for the support. 9:35 p.m., January 17th, 2015. So I fell asleep, woke up to eat some dinner, and I'm on here again. This was a really boring day. Other than the dreaded breakfast. I had zero human-to-human contact, other than the cable guy for a second. I'm fast-forwarding through the stakeout footage now and going through the few updates I received. The proof is coming. Calm down with that. I'd rather be paying attention to this situation unfolding than worrying about a few people not believing me. When I do post proof tomorrow morning or tonight, it will be heavily blurred out so nobody will recognize me. It's just starting to hit me that my life is starting to fall apart around me. It's neat some of you are getting enjoyment out of this, but I'd do anything to go back in time and avoid. This whole situation goes to show that money does not buy happiness unless you have a partner and a family. I get, some of you might be happy without a spouse and family, but I don't see how you could be. It's this alone feeling that hurts. My parents are dead. I only have one brother and we both might get destroyed through this affair situation. He's the last family member I have left and I hate to see us go through something like this together. I won't be the guy in his 50s, alone at the bar with nobody to be with. I will move on from this and hopefully find a better partner. I don't know. After I woke up, it felt like someone had been sitting on my body for the past 3 hours. I hate to complain, but this hurts like a BTCH. 9:42 p.m., January 17th, 2015. I've got texts from Jenny and Carly. Jenny asked me, "What are you doing and call me when you can?" Carly said, "I'm sorry about Jenny. I'm here. If you want to talk about it, F me for falling asleep like an idiot." I don't know what to reply. If anyone is on here this late and has some advice, that'd be great. 10:12 p.m., January 17th, 2015. Jenny texted me again. She was getting spooked and I didn't want to handle her driving home, probably hammered. Worried that I found out, I told her I was at the gym working out, met some friends there and decided to hang out for a bit. I ended it with "What's up, babe?" She hasn't replied yet. I've ignored Carly's text. I checked it in the notification bar so it doesn't have the red sign smart. There was no way I could continue to ignore Jenny. She started to text me repeatedly at 10 o'clock, probably worried she would have done something drastic for sure. I would have liked to ignore her texts, but it wouldn't have turned out well. People do dumb things when they're panicked. Sadly, she isn't as level-headed as I am. 10:31 p.m., January 17, 2015. I called my brother and told him about what they texted me, parts of the investigation, etc. He will be here first thing tomorrow morning. I feel better now that he knows what's up and isn't in the dark. Jenny replied to me, "Okay, cool. Hun, I'm going to go to bed. Nard emoji." I replied, "Cool. I already miss you, good night." Heart emoji. This playing at cool stuff is tough. I know it isn't uncommon for people's parents to be dead by the time you're 30. But I just wish my mom was here to comfort me. She was the best at that. If your parents are still alive and you're on good terms with them, don't treat them like crap and definitely don't take them for granted. They won't be there forever. I didn't treat my mom poorly. I just wish she were here with me, trying to hold back my tears as I reread everything. I'm typing again. Thank you all for the amazing PMs. I'm replying to as many as I can. Everyone concerned about my safety. If she comes home with Carly, etc. The Pi will notify me if they leave the hotel. They probably won't, as they are all most likely hammered, and Jenny told me good night. 10:44 p.m., January 17, 2015. I'm getting offline at 11-ish. Nothing new will unfold for the night for sure. The Pi has decided to stake out until sometime during the middle of the night, 3 to 5 a.m. I'm trying to reply to as many comments as I can. Thank you all for the support. 11:02 p.m., January 17, 2015. Just in case something goes down, I've armed all the alarms in the house. If any door or window opens or breaks, I will be alerted with a loud beeping alert. I have a go bag next to me if I need to bail quickly. I've got a pistol in the nightstand. Again, thank you all for the support. This is a ridiculous amount of people here supporting me and I love it. It's helping me cope. The updates will continue tomorrow. Number 1 will take over again at 8 a.m. I'll be up by around 9 to 10 a.m. a little later. If I can't fall asleep tonight, the pace should pick up once again tomorrow, and I'll also update you guys on the meeting with my brother in the morning. Additionally, I won't be posting any proof, since anything I post will be an obvious giveaway. If they come across this post, I've changed many details so they won't be able to connect the dots just through the posts. The proof will give it away. So I'm sorry if you don't believe me, but I'm not posting any pictures. I'll reply to some posts through my phone as I lay in my bed. I love you all. Good night. This post won't be on the front page tomorrow. I also highly doubt it will be stickied, bookmark, or save if you need to. Finally, good night. 9:35 a.m., January 18, 2015. Just woke up a while ago, slept a bit longer than I expected, freshened up quickly, etc. You know, I half expected this to all be a bad dream and Jenny to be sleeping right next to me when I woke up. Sadly, that isn't the case. This is the worst I've felt since my parents' and sister's deaths. My brother is coming over very soon. He texted me, "Morning dude, what time should I come over?" I said, "Half an hour." I updated me at 4:21 a.m., telling me that Jenny and Carly arrived at ground floor and were sitting in the hotel lobby talking to each other. They were not up in their rooms. Carly was holding her head as if she was hungover. They returned back up to their rooms at 4:56 a.m. I still need to fast forward through the night footage. Now I have to go make breakfast for me and my brother. I'll be back. Hope you all are doing well today. 9:44 a.m., January 18, 2015. Okay, some people are calling me fake for a few reasons. The reason I'm calling Zach's house a flat house is because it is flat, one story. I didn't move from the UK as a kid or anything. Flat equals one-story house. I don't know what kind of person some of you are picturing me as, but I'm not Zac Efron blowing millions every day. If you saw me, you wouldn't know how much I make. since I don't spend much on unnecessary things like fancy clothes, $10,000 watch, etc. Thank you all for the kind PMs. I'm trying to reply to as many as I can, but I'll be fairly busy in about 15 minutes. 9:55 a.m., January 18, 2015. My brother should be here in a few minutes. He's picking up breakfast for us. I'll post an update after we talk. It'll take a while. Hopefully later I get more info or a sighting of Jenny and company. This will be one of the worst conversations I have in my life, and it's risky if my brother freaks out. This whole situation could get effed up, but if he's calm, even better. He'll be an ally. Oh yeah, Jenny is due to come home sometime this afternoon or evening. Mixed feelings about it, still going over what I'm going to tell her. Be back in a bit. Also, don't hesitate to send me a PM or comment, because you're afraid it'll get buried. I read everything in my inbox. I'm still reading and will probably continue to go through my inbox after the meeting. Nervous about this meeting should suck. 11:11 a.m., January 18, 2015. Valp, I've learned my brother is not very good in a crisis. When he arrived we ate and I told him about the whole cheating situation and how I have video. I showed him a screenshot of Jenny kissing Zach and Carly talking to the stranger at Starbucks. I showed him them hung over at the hotel, the texts, etc. He started to freak out. I was afraid he was going to burn my house down. It took me a good 10 minutes to get him under control, but he was surprisingly, amazingly calm. Afterwards it was like he had a short breakdown, then went back to his normal state. We talked over options and decided that we would each act like we didn't know about our spouse's cheating. Like we were clueless. So I'll act like my brother and Carly never said anything about Jenny, and my brother will act like I haven't told him about Carly. It may or may not work, but we're doing this to keep our spouses under control. The last thing we'd want is our spouses to come home and have a simultaneous freak out trying to damage control. During the meeting, the Pi texted me that they had gone down for food and all four of them were sitting at a table outside a restaurant. Jenny clearly had on male sunglasses. One of the guys brought it with them for their hangover and probably lent it to her either way. It was clear they were all in pain from their hangovers, except for the stranger. He seemed completely normal. They had their meal and went back up to the hotel room. I'm not sure why they didn't use room service. Maybe it's because it's so expensive? My brother and I watched them eating at the hotel. He just stared in horror, I guess. Realizing that his marriage was over, he cried his eyes out afterwards. I felt so bad for him I made sure I wouldn't cry. I would not let my emotions get the best of me and cloud my decision-making. As of now, they are back up in their hotel rooms. I expect them to leave the hotel in an hour or two. Not much to do there all day other than hang out and have sex. Jenny texted my brother, "Hey, last night at 1:19 a.m. That's it." He didn't reply to her. Carly has not texted him yet. My brother is still here, calm and collected, watching TV. As I use my computer, he doesn't know about this Reddit post. Not sure if I should tell him about it. Now me and my brother are waiting for them to make some moves, hopefully leave the hotel and show public displays of affection to cement our divorce cases. We still aren't 100% sure Carly cheated at all. No picture or video proof other than her talking to a guy at Starbucks. Just a few more pictures and videos and we can stop this madness and get on with our divorce cases. He's finding a lawyer tomorrow and we'll meet with one sometime this week. The mood in this house is so sad I don't like it one bit. Might have to take a walk or something. 12:28 p.m., January 18, 2015. Sorry for not posting in an hour, but nothing has unfolded yet. My brother is still here grieving and I'm waiting for them to make some moves. They're up and alert by now. We'll see what happens. 12:37 p.m., January 18, 2015. They've left the hotel. Carly, Jenny, stranger, let's call him X, and Zach are in Jenny's car. I will tail as soon as they pull out. 12:45 p.m., January 18, 2015. They're heading towards a residential area filled with apartments. This is not the area where Zach lives. I is having a hard time tailing, since the area has quick left and right turns and he needs to stay a safe distance without letting them out of sight. 12:50 January 18, 2015. This area is very close to the original shopping center. X must have walked to the shopping center from his house. X has been dropped off at his apartment. He briskly walked into the lobby. They have pulled away and are going somewhere else. 12:56 p.m., January 18, 2015. They're in Zach's neighborhood in the car. Is Jenny driving Carly and Zach? There were no public displays of affection between X and Carly, so my brother doesn't have picture or video proof. 10:05 p.m., January 18, 2015. Just my lucky day. Zach was dropped off at his flat house and Jenny got out of the car, followed him up the driveway. In plain sight, they passionately made out/kissed for 10 to 15 seconds like a farewell kiss. Jenny then went back to the car and is driving again. That's enough proof for my case. I've got nudes, sexually suggestive texts, sexual texts, video and picture proof of them. Kissing and hanging out together feels good that I now have more than enough proof. I'm devastated about what I've discovered. Hats off to the pie. Now me and my bro are watching where Carly and Jenny are going. It's just them in the car. Now my brother's case is still a mystery. What is Carly up to? 1:15 p.m., January 18, 2015. They're heading back to the original shopping center 1:20 p.m., January 18, 2015. They parked normally and both of them are inside the Starbucks standing in line to order something. They're talking to each other in line. They literally just ate 2 hours ago. Don't know why they are stopped here 1:24 January 18, 2015. They're sitting at a table with coffee, talking, probably discussing what they're going to tell me and my brother 1:30 p.m. January 18, 2015. They're still sipping coffee and talking. They may be here for a bit 1:40 p.m. January 18, 2015. They're still drinking and talking. Since in my situation it is clear my spouse is cheating, my brother is helping me set up a few surveillance cameras with audio recording in the house. Thank you all for this advice. It will cement my case and the possibility she tries to say I did something to her, hit her, etc. that I didn't actually do. He seems to have cheered up a bit, since we don't have proof that Carly cheated at all. I mean, maybe Jenny had a three-way and Carly was just a witness. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's always a possibility. We'll just have to listen to what they tell us when they get home. Speaking of when they return. What should I do? Play dumb? I don't know how to react. I want to come out to her that I know about all this after my divorce lawyer meeting tomorrow. By then I'll have all my ducks in a row. I hope she doesn't come home and confess to me tonight. I'd rather wait till after my divorce lawyer meeting. 1:49 p.m., January 18, 2015. Jenny texted me saying, "Hey babe, you want to watch a movie tonight? Your pick." I don't know if this is related to any of this or if it's just to throw me off. Don't know what I should say. Carly texted my brother saying, "Sorry for being MIA. I missed you. There are only 3 security cameras we're putting up, and they're going to be hidden. Well, she won't be able to see them." 1:56 p.m., January 18, 2015. Holy crap, guys, this is a throwaway account. But thank you for the gold, makes it easy to view all the comments. Karma doesn't matter to me, since it's a throwaway. To all the people saying I'm making this up. If Jenny confesses to me, I'll act surprised and I'll only tell her about all this after I speak to my divorce lawyer tomorrow and he tells me what I should do. Thank you all for the advice. Now it's a race to set up and hide the cameras. They are on their phones at the coffee shop. Still, about the cameras. We've been talking about installing security cameras for a while anyways for safety measures that will count as consent. 2:05 p.m., January 18, 2015. They're still at the Starbucks. Pi tells me Carly is nervously looking around again as if she's restless. These aren't official security cameras, just a few makeshift recording devices. I'd have to call a company to set up official cameras in and around my house, or it would take a few days as a DIY project. 2:22 p.m., January 18, 2015. They've left the coffee shop. Both of them are in the car talking. So Zach and X are at home. Now it's just Jenny and Carly and their girls' night out. Bastards update 2 days later. Live updates. 2:39 p.m., January 18, 2015. They're on their way to the hotel again. Don't know what they're up to now, possibly retrieving their things before coming home. 2:47 p.m., January 18, 2015. They've arrived at the hotel instead of normally walking in. They clearly were in a hurry and lightly jogged/speedwalked inside. Either they just wanted to walk faster or they know something's up. Jenny is talking on her cell phone, standing outside the door of the hotel, and Carly is waiting for her inside the lobby. Jenny isn't calling me or my brother, so I don't know who she's talking to. 2:52 p.m., January 18, 2015. Jenny is still talking on the phone. Carly has joined her outside and they are taking turns talking. My brother is racing to get a couple of cameras set up. This will be close. 2:54 p.m., January 18, 2015. Friends called and asked if I'm still going to join them to watch football in a few hours. Not sure if I should decline or continue. I'll think it over. 3:00 p.m., January 18, 2015. They got their bags and it looks like they checked out of the hotel. They're in the car now getting ready to pull out. I is getting ready to tell them if they drive off. To everyone asking how Carly texts, she has a replacement phone warranty. 3:02 p.m., January 18, 2015. Bank came through and, as requested yesterday afternoon, joint bank account is frozen. I will be notified about any withdrawals from my personal account in case info was stolen for the next 2 weeks. 3:07 p.m., January 18, 2015. I guess they love talking in coffee shops and in cars because they're still in the car talking. I don't know who they were speaking to on the phone. I have the Seahawks-Packers game on TV to my left, with brother watching surveillance up on my right computer monitor and this post up on my left monitor and checking phone for written updates from Pi. This is getting hectic. 3:15 p.m., January 18, 2015. They've pulled out of the hotel. Isn't clear where they're going. Pi is tailing. Brother is trying to hide the recorders. 3:20 p.m., January 18, 2015. We only have 2 recorders in the house. We'll need to run out and get 1 or 2 more. If Jenny and Carly drive home, we won't have time. They are driving towards a familiar area. It includes a grocery store, a few buildings, and the gym. I go to 3:23 p.m., January 18, 2015. It's too risky to go out for more recorders. Looks like we'll just stay with the 2 that we have. They're getting closer to the gym/Groktor area. 3:27 p.m., January 18, 2015. They've left the grocery/gym area. They could be heading home. They're 20 minutes away, just in case they come here. What should we say? 3:32 p.m., January 18, 2015. They're on a route that leads here. I was prepared for this. I'm running programs that are wiping history and data off my phone and computer. This will take a few minutes. My brother and I are just acting like nothing is up and we're watching the game before gonna hang with some friends in a few hours. 3:39 p.m., January 18, 2015. They're definitely on their way here. Recorders are hidden. Devices are being wiped. Stories are being prepared. This is going to be a crappy next few hours for me, but you guys will probably enjoy the update after we talk. God, I hope this goes smoothly. 3:46 p.m., January 18, 2015. They're pulling up to the house. They're almost on the street 2 minutes away. Any replies to comments will be made through my phone. Can't update posts through mobile. I'll update you guys after everything goes down. It'll be a while bracing myself. Damn it, they were supposed to come home at night when I was gone. They're here, BRB. 5:49 p.m., January 18, 2015. Crap is going down. Nothing physical though. I can't type for more than a minute or 2, but it isn't great. Yelling, anger, sadness, crying, a ton of crying, pleading, explaining, contradicting. This isn't a great place to be right now. I'll update when I'm at my buddy's house. It'll be a while. Sorry, I couldn't update sooner. Nobody is hurt at all. You guys are having a great time reading. I bet this is the worst time of my life. 5:51 p.m., January 18, 2015. Jenny is using the bathroom. I'll quickly say the next update that I post at my friend's house will be lengthy and not very good. It went more or less as I expected. The lies I've been told in the past 2 hours. The lies I have to get out of here. It isn't pleasant. A huge part of my life is falling apart around me. I'll find a way to cope. I'm not a BTCH. I can get through this. So can my brother. I'll update as soon as I can. Second update. 3 days later, all right. So Jenny and Carly got back from the hotel. I had my devices cleared and everything looked normal. My brother and I were sitting on the couch watching TV. Jenny opened the front door and Jenny and Carly walked in. Started with normal "Hey Huns. And I missed you." They took off their shoes near the door and Carly went over to sit next to her husband. Jenny just walked up to me and hugged me for a good minute or two. I won't lie. It felt good. Forgetting about everything and just wrapping each other in our arms. She didn't smell different, so it was easy to forget about the whole affair situation. She pulled out of the hug and kissed me, like she did Zach, for a few seconds. I pulled away and said, "What's up?" She looked away. I could tell she was beginning to cry and started sobbing. She got all teary-eyed. I almost felt bad for her and she said, "I'm so sorry, honey." I played dumb and said, "What happened?" She asked me, "Carly didn't tell you?" I said no. She told me that she had to make out with some guy, Zach, and that if she didn't, he would let out a dirty secret of hers. I asked her, what was the secret, and she wouldn't tell me. I told her, "Is that all you did? A few kisses, isn't that bad? If he was blackmailing you, it's okay." I asked her, "What about the weekend getaway? You didn't go on a trip or anything?" She said no. She had only gone to a hotel where the guy wanted to meet up for some kisses. Carly clearly looked uncomfortable during this. She kept looking over at us as if she wanted to say something. I turned to look at Carly, and this is when the truth started to come out. I already knew Jenny had sex. I was playing dumb. Jenny said we did a few other things, but that's all. I asked her to tell me what she did. Jenny said she played with Zach's thing and touched it a little. Give me a break. I got more aggressive and frustrated with her lying and asked her, "Are you sure that's all you did?" Jenny then told me she had to have sex with him just to please him. I grew tired of her giving me tiny bits of the information, so I asked Carly what happened. Carly told me that Jenny told her they were going to a lodge in the mountains for a weekend. Jenny told Carly that I didn't want to miss the football games, so I was going to stay home and it was going to be a fun weekend for them to bond. This is believable. They are best friends. Jenny then took them to Zach's house and she forced Carly to keep her mouth shut or she would tell my brother that Carly was cheating. She showed Carly where she would be in case something happened to her and dropped Carly back off at the hotel. Carly said, Jenny went back to Zach's place for a while. They did something and came back later with a guy she didn't know. Jenny then had some more sex with Zach, while Carly just spoke to the new guy that Jenny brought over. They had a few drinks and went to bed. They dropped them off at their houses and now they came back home. False BS. Carly lied. She never mentioned meeting X at Starbucks or the coffee shop trips at all. My brother was growing more and more frustrated with the lying. So was I. I told Jenny and Carly to come with me at the dining room table and asked them to give me the whole truth, as their stories didn't add up. That's when Jenny started bombarding me with, "Why don't you trust me? And we're married. We're supposed to trust each other through thick and thin." Wrong verse. Carly started to give dirty looks and she repeatedly rolled her eyes. It was like I was speaking to toddlers. Jenny was furious. She walked into the kitchen, got a bottle of water and slammed the refrigerator door. My brother heard this. He came over and sat down with us. The four of us were sitting at a table. My brother and I knew most of the truth. Jenny and Carly knew the whole truth. We had to get it from them. Jenny started sobbing hysterically. Carly followed. They both cried for 10 minutes, maybe without talking. Jenny came over and hugged me and sobbed into my shoulder. I was going to miss holding her for sure. She still felt like the same Nanchang person I knew before. Jenny sat back down and told me the whole truth. Jenny and Carly had made up the whole trip. They wanted to have sex with other people. For once she was hooking up. They went over to the Starbucks so Carly could meet the guy she had been seeing for a while prior. Jenny grew paranoid that she was being followed by me and started driving around in circles. She then went back to the shopping center to pick up Carly. X had something to take care of and said he would meet Carly later at the hotel. X is a friend of Carly's and Jenny's. Carly and Jenny then drove to the hotel they were staying at to eat some food. Later they went back to the car so they could drive over to Zach's flat house. Jenny ran over to the car because again she was paranoid. I was following her. They drove over to Zach's house after many turns because she was paranoid. I was following her. Jenny showed Carly where she would be if anything happened. Jenny then drove Carly back to the hotel. Carly waited up there for Jenny, Zach and X to come over. Jenny went back over to Zach's house and they made out in there. They also had sex. After a while, Jenny and Zach went to the shopping center to pick up X again with X. They went back to the hotel where they were going to have sex. As I guessed, Carly got cold feet and didn't want to do it. Jenny and Zach, however, did have sex multiple times. Carly ratted out Jenny right away so she wouldn't be involved with anything. They all had a bunch of drinks and got drunk. After Jenny and Zach had sex once more, they went to bed. Carly and X hung out all night, nothing romantic except for hand-holding. They woke up, ate food, dropped everyone off at their houses, kissed Zach and drove to the coffee shop there. They talked extensively about what they would tell us to cover up what happened. They got too confused and just decided to wing it. They went back to the hotel, got their things and checked out. They left out the part about driving to the gym/grok area and said they just drove home instead of lying. They broke down and couldn't do it. So now they're admitting what they did. They also didn't say anything about the person they talked to on the phone outside the hotel. So from what they told me, Jenny had sex. Carly did not, but was going to. I don't know what to believe. Jenny again hugged me and sobbed into my chest, ruining my shirt. Carly cried but didn't approach her husband. My brother had a look of relief on his face, but also slight anger. He scolded them about lying for maybe 15 minutes, then again about how badly they had hurt us, and they cried more. I was furious. I thought what we had was great. She never once showed signs of wanting to hook up with other people. I asked her how long this had been going on and how they were meeting each other, but she didn't say anything. After a few more minutes of crying, she said a few weeks. That was the first time they had sex. I was devastated, but I understood that this is what she wanted. Sure, she played with my feelings, but she's not a person fond of commitment at heart. She wants to sleep around, and that's fine with me. That's just not happening when we're together. So I'm continuing with the divorce process. F her. My brother and Carly talked in our bedroom. There was tons of yelling and crying on both parts, and they came out after 20 minutes. They looked like they had made up and they went home. I was upset. Jenny kept telling me we could work through this. She didn't want to lose me and that it would never happen again. I just left the table and went back to watching TV. She started yelling at me about how I was betraying her and that we are life partners and we can't divorce. She came over and tried to sit on top of me in a cute way, but I rejected. She got all pouty, like she normally does when she's upset, and went upstairs to use the restroom. Holy mood swings. That's when I wrote that quick update. I told Jenny that we'd talk about it later tonight and that I was still on with my friends to watch the football game. She pleaded to me one last time, but I wasn't budging. She said she had a date planned for us and I'd have a sexy surprise waiting for me. For when I got back, she winked at me and said, "Sorry." I walked out the door. I didn't say anything about the investigation I have going on here. I am at my friend's house. They're clearly enjoying the game. I'm writing a depressing and devastating story on Reddit. Still on with the lawyer tomorrow morning. Thank you all for the support these past few days. It has meant a lot to me. I'll post an update on what happens with the divorce lawyer, one about what happens when I get back home, and I might post a complete update post on everything. On Monday/Tuesday at our SL Relationships, I'll retrieve call and text logs to find out who she was calling when they were outside the hotel. Either way, my head is spinning and I don't know what to think about all this. There are so many questions that need answering. My brother is supposedly fine now. I'm still devastated. The next few months will be tough, but I think I can get through it. Jenny is at home alone now. Edit forgot to add. Jenny has texted me 13 times to come home and she misses me. Edit 2, I'm probably done updating for tonight. I'm not feeling up to it. I'll read and reply to some comments, but I can't get to all of them. Good night, guys. Thanks for the support. Edit. 3. 12:56 p.m., January 19th, 2015. Hey, so my sexy surprise last night was pretty terrible. I walked into the house pretty pissed, and Jenny had literally everything I like prepared for me. My favorite meal, the outfit of hers that I liked, etc. I didn't know what to do. This felt so much like some of our old nights together that we loved. I didn't give in sexually, but I was pretty hungry. I sat down with her and we ate pretty much in complete silence. She had the nerve to ask me, "Are you still upset with me?" I just looked at her and she knew it. I finished eating and started heading upstairs. She chased after me, grabbed my hand and once again cried into me. Although this wasn't a whole bunch of tears like earlier, she was still sad. Throughout all this, I still see flashes of the person I used to love so much. The way she walks, the mannerism when she brushes her hair back, etc. I realize this is just her way of guilting me. I'm not going to stay with someone who I can't trust, second-guessing everything they tell me. I told her to leave me alone. We LL talk some more tomorrow. I go through my routine and go to bed, where she is waiting for me with one last attempt to have sex. I finally told her this isn't happening and you know it. You have Zach on speed dial. Call him if you want a quick F. Out of rage, or maybe to prove that she doesn't love him anymore. She smashed her phone on the floor. She said, "I told you I don't like him anymore. I want to be with you and only you." Our bedroom floor is carpet, so her phone didn't break, but the SIM card and battery flew out, which made it look bad, aka cracked back. I told her to pick up your effing phone and stop bothering me. I'm trying to go to sleep. You should have thought about our relationship when you went around sleeping with other people more crying, and she fell asleep that way. I fell asleep afterwards and we didn't have sex. I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. without waking her. Hit the gym for an hour and went to the divorce lawyer. He has told me to not tell her anything about the PI investigation or anything else involving the divorce. He thinks it would be wise if I thought this over thoroughly, as after divorce it would be tough to go back. He told me to give him a call when I was ready to move forward. I received a copy of the prenuptial agreement and we read it over. It's still valid. Thank God he didn't have much time to speak with me, since he shouldn't have been in office for MLK. But he had me and one other client early and he wanted to go back home. I'm planning on calling him tomorrow morning to move forward with the process. There is no way at all. I'm staying with Jenny. After the meeting, I texted my brother and asked him how things were going. He said about back to normal. It's weird. I'm happy for him, but I kind of wish I had a partner to go through this with me together. It's tough getting a divorce, but I'm not a BTCH and I can get through this. Jenny texted me this morning asking, "Where are you?" A few times I didn't reply. I'm at home now. It's pretty awkward. She's trying to set a movie date with us tonight and I keep rejecting. To clear up a few things. Some people are telling me I'm bragging on these posts. I never said I have a huge thing. Never said I was insanely attractive. Never said I'm filthy, rich, or have a great job. I don't consider myself above anyone at all. The only reason the sexual details were included is because it's a common reason to divorce. A lot of divorces are over sexual dissatisfaction, and thank you all for the support. There is no way I'll be able to read all these replies and PMs, but I'll try to reply to as many as I can. There will probably be a couple more updates here, and I'll post another update thread in a few months on how I'm doing and how the divorce went again. Thanks for the golds, but this is a throwaway. As I've mentioned, it'll make it much easier to read comments, so thanks. Edit for 3:15 p.m., January 20th, 2015. Alright. Sorry for the delay in updates recently. It's just tough updating when Jenny is home. I don't want her to find out about the posts, so I have to open a new window whenever she walks by. As a result, it takes a while to write a post that should take just 30 minutes. Anyways, Jenny tried to drag me to the movies last night. She said if we spent some time alone clearing our minds, we might be able to rethink the situation thoroughly and realize we are perfect for each other. I wanted to watch American Sniper anyways, but I didn't want to go to the movies alone, so I gave in, since she was pestering me. When we got into the theater, I immediately started to regret it. There were countless attempts at holding hands, kissing, wrapping her arm around me or pulling my arm around her, etc. After my rejections, she grew frustrated during the movie and began to shun me. Like a child, she had her head facing the other way from me instead of watching the movie. After that, she started to repeatedly tap me on my thigh over and over and over and over for almost the rest of the movie. On the drive home, She started crying/shouting at me about how sorry she is. She said she's having nightmares about losing me and she can't imagine a day where she doesn't wake up next to me, etc. I told her I don't want to continue a romantic relationship with you. We are getting a divorce. I asked her to pull over so I could drive, since she was acting like a maniac and I was afraid she'd drive us right into traffic. The rest of the drive home was quiet, sniffling in silence. Last night, as a last-ditch effort, she tried to initiate one last time. I pulled her off and told her, "No, our sex life is over. After we split, you can go back to Zach and we'll be on our separate ways. Until then, stop trying to effing initiate with me. You'll just get rejected. Let me sleep like the night before." She fell asleep in tears. This morning we woke up at almost the exact same time, which is unusual. I wake up quite early and she sleeps in. Maybe she stayed up all night and waited for me to get up to talk. I don't know. Anyways, she said that she wanted to come clean to get everything off of her chest. She couldn't live with herself if she kept leading me on whatever. That means Carly had sex with X. But that isn't it. They switched partners repeatedly over the weekend. So every male-female combination that is possible with Carly, Jenny, Zach, and X happened. She said Carly was frightened about my brother finding out, so she stabbed Jenny in the back by snitching on Jenny. In other words, Carly wanted to be the plaintiff and Jenny to be the defendant, since usually the person who reports first is trusted more. When Carly told Jenny what she did dumb move, Jenny panicked and sent something similar to me about Carly. So they both cheated on us with two different partners. Zach and X are mutual friends of the both of them, and all of them had been interested in something sexual for a while now. Jenny said she wanted to see what it was like to taste other fish in the sea, and Carly was tired of the same bland life. I was once again devastated and angry that she still hadn't told me the truth even after coming clean. Before an hour ago, I texted my brother asking him if he could swing by my house later today with Carly, so we could talk about something. He instead told me to come over to his house tonight with Jenny. Keep in mind, I hadn't even told him about Carly cheating yet, but he already wanted me to bring Jenny along, so maybe Carly came clean to him. Jenny is nervous about going over there later. She isn't eating much or speaking much. I received the call logs from Jenny's phone over the past few days. The person she and Carly were talking to outside the hotel wasn't Zach. It was a number I've never seen before. X. She contacted the bank once, probably about the frozen joint account, or she was trying to drain the account. She also called Carly multiple times during the trip. Her phone is broken now, so she hasn't made any calls in the past day or so. Zach is probably wondering why she hasn't spoken to him recently. The divorce lawyer and I have a follow-up meeting scheduled for Thursday afternoon. We're planning on going through with the divorce. I'll be informing Jenny. She'll need to hire a lawyer soon. She probably isn't taking me seriously, but she will when she sees the prenup with the cheating clause highlighted. It's weird the amount of publicity my situation is receiving: Fox News, Daily Mail, radio shows, etc. It's a constant reminder about how crappy these next few months are going to be, and also raises the probability of her finding out about this. I can't go 2 minutes without thinking about the affair. I can't even browse the sub without seeing Pi or Jenny and Carly jokes in the comment section of almost every post. Hopefully in time it'll be less painful and more of a funny joke. To me, still hurts thinking about two different guys effing my soon-to-be ex-wife, possibly even at the same time. Thank you all for the support. Another update is coming this evening after I speak with my brother and Carly, and maybe another one during the day if something new unfolds. 1 comment equals 1 prayer. 4:45 p.m., January 20th, 2015. Heading to my bros soon posted a comment somewhere jokingly mentioning my favorite movies. Those are not my favorite movies of all time. They don't even crack my top 3. 5:05 p.m., January 20th, 2015. Leaving in a few minutes. Jenny's getting ready should be a crappy next few hours. I'm getting so much support in my inbox. It's unbelievable. I can't even read 1/5 of the messages. Thanks everyone. Edit 5. 11:10 p.m., January 20th, 2015. Jenny and I pulled up at my brother and Carly's house. After ringing the doorbell and waiting for what felt like an eternity, Carly answered the door. She looked sad and her eyes were swollen, as if she had been crying for a while. We entered and my brother was waiting for us in the living room. I walked over and took a seat next to him. Jenny tried to sit next to Carly, but Carly got up and walked to a seat across the room. You could almost taste the tension in the room. Without beating around the bush, my brother got right into it. My brother said, Carly told him that Jenny pushed Carly into having sex with Zach/X, that it wasn't her choice. Carly must have come clean to my brother about having sex with Zach, and her ex Carly spoke up and said, if it was her choice, she wouldn't have done it, and she would have remained faithful to my brother. Carly said Jenny turned into a bad influence recently and kept nudging her towards an affair, but she kept resisting. Finally, to stop the pestering, Carly gave in. Carly said again that Jenny isn't a positive influence you want in your life. And the old Jenny she knew, the kind, faithful, loving one, was gone. Jenny looked furious. She shouted, "You effing liar." Jenny admitted that they both had sex because they both wanted to try new things. She didn't force anyone to do anything. I spoke up and for the first time in a long time took Jenny's side. I questioned my brother, asking him if he actually believed the BS Carly was spewing out of her mouth. I told him there was no way Jenny forced anyone to do anything. Otherwise Carly would have sneak texted one of us earlier on about this whole thing. Emotional breakdown commenced. Carly wept for 10 minutes straight, mumbling out words nobody could understand. Jenny, surprisingly, just stared at her in anger instead of joining in. Carly eventually came clean, telling us that they both agreed to it and wanted to try something new. My brother was once again furious and started marching around the house slamming doors. He has a tough time controlling his anger. Finally, we all knew the complete truth. Jenny and Carly consented to having sex with two men on a fake girls' nights out. My brother calmed down but was still visibly upset and returned to the living room. There was nothing left to say. We all knew what was coming. A dual divorce. After we had cleared everything up, everyone stood up, as you normally do when guests are leaving, and Jenny and I were getting ready to leave. Carly walks across the room and hugs Jenny. Even after Jenny nicely resists a few times, it lasts a few seconds and Jenny pulls out. They're both looking at each other now. Crack. Jenny slapped Carly across the face. Now it wasn't so hard that she'd lose consciousness or be thrown into another dimension, but it left a mark. Jenny clearly wasn't having any of this blaming BS. She turned and quickly ran out the door. I apologized profusely and followed her out the door. My brother texted me when we got home saying it's okay and he's pretty pissed about Carly embarrassing him like that with a lie in front of all of us. Needless to say, Carly and Jenny won't be speaking to each other for a while. As you all know, after Jenny smashed her phone on the floor and aggressively placed it on hard tables multiple times, her phone stopped working properly. I saw this firsthand when I got home from the divorce lawyer. I retrieved the call/ext logs from the past few days and noticed there were no texts since the incident, nor were there any calls. There were calls during the girls' trip, though I'm not 100% certain whether or not her phone ceased to work immediately after the bedroom phone smash or if it worked for a while then stopped. As I said, the morning after Jenny smashed her phone on the ground and I returned from the divorce lawyer, she texted me. Jenny was either using her phone, which was barely working, not likely, or her iPad, since it only requires Wi-Fi to text using iMessage, not a cell phone plan. IME messages do not come up on the text/call log since they don't use the carrier service. They use Apple servers. When she texted me, I didn't think it through and thought it was just a normal iMessage text. I had different, more serious and important divorce things on my mind than which device she used to contact me. Jenny had been switching between normal texts and iMessage while speaking with Zach this evening. I entered Jenny's iPad password and went into iMessage. She had been texting Zach and an unknown number, probably X. I read through the conversations and Jenny broke up with both of them. She said she didn't want to have any further ties with them and the segs was going to stop. X and Zach agreed and they haven't spoken since. So Jenny had actually broken off her relationship with them. She wasn't lying. Jenny kissed me goodnight. I had no time to react. She didn't hold me down and force it or anything. Just a quick few second long kiss, which is fine, I guess, and went to bed. I'm typing this on the computer and I'm heading up soon. She hasn't cried or begged for segs or affection. I guess she understands now that it's done. Now all me and my brother have to do is file for divorces and we'll be back to bachelor lives without wives. We aren't divorcing each other, we're divorcing our wives, Jesus. Also, if you think the story is fake, it isn't. Please refrain from spamming my inbox with your karma. Good story, better karma, rewards, etc. I want to see the messages where people are actually sending advice or giving me feedback, not a whole bunch of useless insults. Thanks. 11:27 p.m., January 20th, 2015. Tomorrow I might post a straw poll on whether or not my bro and I should get revenge or something. No, revenge is petty, never mind. Also, it seems this crowd of Redditors at night is a lot nicer and less volatile. I like you guys. 11:51 p.m., January 20th, 2015. Me right now. 11:56 p.m., January 20th, 2015. Heading to bed very soon. I'll still be replying to some comments, though I can't get to all of them. 12:51 a.m., January 21st, 2015. I guess we're the reason Reddit servers have been so messed up in the past few days. Shalad broke the internet to my resume. I'll reply to some more comments and head to bed. Thank you all for the support these past few days. I'll update this situation tomorrow, although I'll probably have to make a new post, since it'll be at the max character limit. If you guys still want to see updates. Good night. 1:38 a.m., January 21st, 2015. No, I don't think I'm so important that I needed the disclaimer. I'm getting tons of messages asking to turn this into a short film, book, movie on Kickstarter, etc. I needed to put that there. That's in the off chance someone took this as something more serious than just some guy and his brother's divorce stories, and many people advised me to post the disclaimer, since it made it onto the news. Just following advice. I'm getting tons of messages about it. I won't be able to reply to all of them. I'm sorry, edit. 4:20 p.m., January 21st, 2015. As usual, I woke up early, hit the gym and returned home in time for breakfast. Jenny was up by the time I got home and sitting at the table eating breakfast while having a plate out for me. Again, she woke up early when she normally doesn't. I don't know why I let her cook for me. I didn't ask for it, but I wasn't going to throw out a perfectly good breakfast, as I knew she didn't poison me or anything like that. It felt so much like our time together. Pre-affair, sitting together, eating and casually speaking. She stopped trying to initiate or be all romantic, aside from occasional shoulder brushes and a peck once in a while. There's nothing I can do to stop those things. It happens in a second and I don't have time to react. Anyways, while finishing up breakfast, we heard the doorbell ring. I went to answer the door. It was Carly and a police officer. This was the non-emergency kind of officer, the kind that settles minor disputes. She called him over to supervise us in case things got physical again. We didn't get any heads up. She was coming whatever. That's fine. Carly got right to it. She explained clearly that she did not want any of us to contact her ever again. Carly said she didn't want to speak with us and she's had enough of all this drama and shoddiness BS. We had ruined her life and caused her to become such an unstable person. Apparently she has depression and she's developed a fingernail-biting habit because of us. To clarify, Jenny, my brother and I weren't to speak to her ever again unless it was related to the divorce case between her and my brother. Jenny tried to speak up, but Carly shushed her before she could say anything. Carly is also setting up a restraining order against Jenny and me and another one against my brother after their divorce is final. She said we have to pay a fine to the tune of $1,000 if we come within 1,000 feet of her. I looked over at the officer to confirm if what she was saying is possible, but he shrugged his shoulders. Carly is staying at a hotel until her divorce is final. Also, if Jenny hears any rumors, she is not allowed to spread them. Carly also said she's afraid she might have gotten an STD from Jenny and she's going to get tested ASAP. I'm also getting tested soon. I was close to blowing up and asking her what the F she was doing in our house. Coming in with an officer explaining this BS. That obviously won't hold up in court, but I let it slide. Jenny was growing aggravated, but she held it in as well. Carly smirked and walked out the door behind the officer. Jenny tried to trip her from behind, but Carly caught herself, told the officer, and glared at Jenny. Jenny received a warning from the officer. So Carly isn't speaking to my brother, me or Jenny. Jenny and I are getting a divorce clearly now.